Hi there, Celine here. Welcome to my channel. I'm recording from a different location today. I'm out in my little healing room, and you might see a nice painting there behind me of Salt Hill, Galway Bay, where I'm from. Love that painting. Now you mightn't be able to see it with the shine on the glass. So yeah, different venue for different time and lots of change happening, and it's just nice to be I just feel like another layer, as I call it, has left me, and that's the title of my video today, Letting Go, and the power of letting go. I haven't been on making videos in a while, really for that reason. I'm finding myself very much drawn to make videos when intuitively I feel I've something to share. The whole purpose of my channel, for anyone who's new here, is really to share my journey and story, which I suppose started when I had cancer. I've talked about it before in 2016, but even before that, this sort of process of growing and changing and evolving and becoming more of me. The journey of remembering is what I call it, and it's an ongoing journey. So what I want to do is, because so much has shifted and continues to shift for me, and life has got so much better, I feel so much happier and on purpose, and I've new tools and it's like gifts and abilities are awakened in me and awakening all the time, which I believe is the very true and good sign that more of you're peeling back more of the layers of what you're not. So I really want to share what I feel. Obviously I find I have to process and go through things and need to be able to talk about them in some sort of coherent fashion and hopefully share some insights. So that's why sometimes there can be gaps in videos. So today I hope this video helps you and supports you. So it's called The Power of Letting Go, as I said, and it's really been a huge shift that has taken place in me in the last year or two, and could even understanding what it means, letting go, surrendering. And for me, it's broadened into, I suppose cancer was when I've often talked about a whole letting go happened after the diagnosis and when I was going through treatment. And really what I meant there was this sort of surrendering into the fact that I have this illness in my body. I cannot control the fact that it's there or not there, however it came about or how I created it, which I know I did. But aside from that, I had to accept that. And I had spent a lot of my life in a very controlled way of living because I believed that's the way I needed to be. I think most of us do. So that was my first experience of what it felt like. And I've described it, I think a few times, where I literally, the only way I can put, sometimes you just need imagery and use sort of analogies to explain things that can be quite difficult to put into words. But it was literally like I actually was one day in the car driving with my hands on the steering wheel, and I think I was going to a doctor's appointment, and I could just feel everything just out of control is the best way to put it, which I was and which I needed to be. And rather than fighting it, which I had been, I just remember saying, okay, that's it. And I did take my hands off the steering wheel. And it felt like going into free fall, which it is. It was like sort of dropping into, I think there's an exercise, a trust exercise. I know I've done it before in some course where somebody I think is standing behind you, and you basically just stand up and you let go and you trust that you will be caught. But you have to go through that moment of the letting go where you literally fall back and you're in open space, and someone may or may not come and catch you. But that will they do. But that is that sort of feeling, that sensation. I'm sure you know it from maybe something that you jumped off a diving board or fell off something, there's a split second or a moment where you just go, oh my God. And that's sort of, but the wonder, I'm talking now again about just the example of cancer, but the wonder that comes over you in time through that process, because all of the tightness and the control I felt when that happened with cancer just dissolved. It just dissolved. You know, what was I trying to control? And, you know, me, you know, it isn't possible. There's a flow and emotion to life that is life. That is how life and energy moves and flows. And the more we can come into that, that's a whole other topic again, going into flow, but that's really what it's about. It's letting go of that tightness and constriction. So as I said, cancer was the first, I suppose, conscious or experience where I can really remember going, I'm letting go. So what I mean by letting go now is that example of maybe letting go in a situation, letting go in life, in trying to control others, outcomes of things, control yourself and how you'll behave and what you'll do, you know, all of these things, letting go of, and this is a big one for me in this, and I'll mention it in another situation that came up for me recently, beliefs and ways of viewing life, viewing the world that I know now no longer serve me, outdated views of myself, who I am, what I'm capable of, what I'm here to do. It's a really, really big one. And I think we all know there are so many different ways that can sort of play out, whether it's belief systems we've inherited through our family line, through society, our culture, our conditioning, the programming through education, through so many ways, to the point that I can almost see how I'm almost amazed at the fact that I've sort of managed to step up out of that nearly, or start to see it, because it's so ingrained in us from the day we're born. And no wonder all the trauma, you know, when this totally unnatural way of living. So letting go, as sort of my ways of viewing life, and control, not trusting life, you know, really, that's what it comes down to. As I said, you know, that letting go when you fall back and trust that someone will catch you. So yeah, clearing all of that out and trusting and knowing that there is a higher aspect of yourself, of myself, that always knows, and I feel it now, you know, that knows what is best for me. So that has been, and in letting go, and it's an ongoing process. I think, you know, it's in line with the, as I see it, sort of the rhythms and the, like the tide, you know, it sort of comes in waves. I feel I can have sort of a layer taken off. There's a whole dismantling, restructuring, reorienting, and then you're on to what's next. You know, you're now this sort of bigger version of you, or lighter version of you, where next? And that will continue in this journey, as I see it for me, of remembering and really coming into the essence and truth of myself. And I know it's happening because I feel it, and that's why I wanted to talk about it today. I don't claim that I have all the answers or I've cleared everything, but I love talking about it too, going through, because this is the importance. This is how I've learned from others. This is how I want to share as well, in the hope that it will help someone else who may be feeling. So just to give you another, as I said, that example that I'll share with from the last, it's really been the last few months, and it's shown up in a physical way. So when I talk about this example, I'm really sharing it symbolically as well, not to get too caught up in the material, because it isn't really about it. It's about it on many levels, both materially and non-materially, and in every way. And I've talked in an earlier video about my lovely car, the gift of my car, with the stresses and strains I had. And I knew, you know, as we know, our possessions, everything energetically, our house, our car, are all aspects of our field and what's going on. But just, let's say the challenge of letting go, or came up for me in the last few months around the car. And I was not comfortable with that at all. I resisted it. I was afraid. I tightened, I constricted, I put my head in the sand, I distracted, I cried, oh my God, it's hard to put into words. Only now can I tell you, can I see really what it was about? Because on one level, it was a sort of physical letting go of something material in my life, but it was also letting go of an image and a view I had of myself and how I believed others saw me, because I straight away assumed that if I had to let this car go and if I didn't replace it and I couldn't replace it, how would I be viewed? How would my image in the world look like? And it may sound ridiculous, but it really, really, I felt very exposed, very vulnerable, because it was showing, why doesn't Celine have a car? What's wrong with her? All of these things. Can she not afford it? Every doubt, all of this started to come up, and there were other things going on as well, but this was just, a lot of things were being shaken in my world, and I know it was because some of these things physically needed to go. Some of my beliefs, or all of my beliefs around them, needed to go. I really needed to clear out this very rigid way of viewing life. I've experienced it before. I should know better, and things clear out, and it's interesting. So I just share something in that story, just how it came to a conclusion. On one level, it came to a conclusion last Friday, but it just shows the magic that happens when we let go and surrender into that sort of flow and connectedness that exists, and oneness, and how everything just works itself out when we can let go, and stop trying to control and constrict the flow of life and the flow of energy. Now, as it happened, my car did go and I did get another car, but that wasn't actually planned at all. I hadn't even accepted. So, okay, I'll get to the point of this story. So last Friday or Thursday, knowing that my car was nearing an end and I had just about almost accepted it, but I was pushing it out down the road, and I was giving someone a lift into the city centre near here. And on the way home, so it's Friday about 4:30, a horrendous noise came out of my car, worse than the one that had been there. It's like, oh my God, I don't believe this. If this is coming soon, or I'm not ready. And I got home and it was just before 5, and I said I should bring this down to the local garage just to see, is it dead or what's going on? And I just about got down. I mean, the noise was horrendous. And as I pulled into the garage, the shutters were down, closed, and in front of it was a lovely little red car. And I remember just looking at it going, oh my God, I'd love to have a car like you. No offense to my old one, but I just thought, you just feel right. And I got out and I was about to go home, but I thought maybe it's too dangerous. I really don't know, what is wrong with the car. It's literally like something that was dragging off the road, even though I couldn't see anything. I walk into the garage and I ask the person behind the counter, and she said, oh, they're closed, but they're still here. So, and I know some of them in the garage. Anyways, 2 guys come out, lovely guys. And I just say, look, I know you're finished. Would you mind just telling me? They came out between the jigs and the reels, as they say here in Ireland. They said, now let me get this right. I think it's the axle is broken on top of everything else that was going wrong. But he was like, so I knew, it's like, sayonara, it's over now in this place. And one of the mechanics who was there telling me, and he said, you're not in the market for a new car, are you? And he pointed at the red car that I had seen as I pulled into the garage with the door shut. And he said, it's my wife's, and just, we don't want to let it go, but we need to. And da-di-da-di-da, it was very good value. It's been very well cared for. All of that happened. And would you believe, I was still not going, oh my God, can I not? What will I do? And I did ultimately make the decision. And the car is now sitting in my front driveway, thanks to lots of different other things that came about to help me do that. So I think that lesson was just being hammered home to me as I pulled into that garage, and I had been given so many warning signs, not warning signs, but sort of little wake-up calls. And the final one that literally was so bad that the car couldn't drive, like it literally stopped dead. And there in front of me, once I accepted that, was the little lovely red car that's replacing it. And even if it hadn't, it's not about, I had resigned and I knew there were other ways I could manage things for now, because there's a lot of other stuff that's been reshuffling that's been going on that I won't get into in this video. They all seem to revolve around cars. So some of you, I'm sure, can enlighten me. I think someone said to me it's to do with your spiritual awareness, or I'm not sure, but I know energetically it's an extension of me, and as is my home. But that was how that lesson around letting go, it really reminded me that we, in many ways, like I said, we have to let go of, we don't have to, but in letting go of beliefs. So I just say this to you if you're wondering about it, in letting go of beliefs and rigid ways of looking at life, we make space for something new to come in, and physically that manifested as a new car. Until I let go of that old one, nothing could present itself, and I was really being shown that up close. So yeah, I just wanted to share those examples. And what's interesting as well, excuse me, since that time, I felt this urge to be clearing out my house and clearing out clothes. And I know, I'm sure if you do a spring clean, you that feeling of letting go, it could be clothes that you think I'll wear again, or something you think you'll use. And really, sometimes the energy of it just needs to leave you. I've noticed that with things. It's not about, oh, I can't wear that again. It's just, it's time. The energy has to keep moving. This stagnation can occur in our lives on so many levels. So what helped me, I just want to share with you what has helped me tune into that letting go, because it can feel hard to, maybe abstractly, how do I do that? Firstly, I'd say for me, there was a desire, there was an awareness around, control. This is the ego aspect of me, trying to keep things the way they are. So there was an awareness that life is flow, life is motion, energy and motion. And I do feel I was ready. I really understood, even though I struggled with it, I really understood this needs to go. There are certain things that need to leave my life now. Not just the car, but as I said, beliefs and ways of being and doing and talking and behaving and attitudes, lots of things. Another thing that really helped me, I've talked about it before, is I follow it's a diaphragmatic breathwork exercise, and I do it. I had drifted away from it, but I got back doing it quite intensely, 5 days a week. And as I said, it's a powerful diaphragmatic breathwork practice that helped me through this process that has been going on for the last few months quite intensely. Because there were times I thought it'd explode. And there was just, because I was trying to hold in and not let go. And then that even became harder. So that allowed it be released in a way that was manageable for me, that wasn't too overpowering. I asked for help. I prayed. I do every day. And I'd ask others too, people I admire and trust, and listen to others that can support me. I spend a lot of time in nature, because nature, again, it always just reminds me, it always is such a teacher. I look, when you think of it, we're of the same consciousness expressed differently, and nature doesn't have all these hang-ups and beliefs and crazy things that we do. And I noticed again, or it reminded me when I was out in nature, I think it was in autumn when the leaves were falling. I remember this last autumn, I think, thinking the same thing. Isn't it beautiful how the leaves just fall, and the trust is there, the leaves will grow again. You don't see a tree trying to hold on tightly to the leaves, not trusting that they'll come back. So it's knowing that whatever needs to go, it will be replaced by what you need next. And then you will work with that into the next phase of your life. And this is the beautiful co-creative process that is us here on earth, this beautiful consciousness energy on earth. And the power of letting go is really that freedom that comes with it. As I said, I feel a great sense of peace. There'll be more letting go. And, I sort of think now, my God, Celine, you should have learned by now after what I've gone through and the beautiful miracles that have just shown up magically in the last few days, and wonderful people. It's just been amazing. So I wanted to share that. I might share more in it again as more unfolds, but it's, as I said, it's been a while since I've come on to do a video, and it's been for that reason. I just didn't feel I had a lot to share that would be of benefit and of value. I've also, and just to say, I will pop in and out doing videos, but not as probably often through the rest of July and maybe early August, because I know as part of the letting go process in my own life, it's creating a space, and I feel like a recalibration or a reorientation or something is taking place. And I need to spend time with that. I need to reflect and see where then is this energy, the new energy that's coming in, where is it directing me? Not even directing, but guiding me and pointing me to work with it. And I love this. I loved this part of writing as well, which I may do a bit of. I love that process. I just love it. But the letting go has to happen for that magic to enter in. So if you're struggling with letting go in your life of anything, physically, a belief, a situation, anything, it doesn't matter how it shows up. Just trust. If you're feeling, the way I'll describe it, how I knew it was time to let go, is I felt so squeezed. I kept thinking of a tube of toothpaste, just squeezed and squeezed and squeezed. And every day it was like, oh my God, I can hardly breathe. And that was the resistance in me. So the beautiful power of letting go is that you come back more into who you are. You're sinking deeper into that essence of who you are and into your freedom. You're freeing yourself from all those limiting beliefs and thoughts that hold you back. And you're coming to know yourself as the powerful creator that you are. So good luck, and I wish you well with whatever letting go you do. It's just magic. I can say that at the moment today, coming out the other end. And yeah, just wanted to share that. Have a lovely day, and I will be back to talk to you again soon. And I'll be sharing, I've an interview coming out that I did with a lovely lady. It's a few months back on a podcast in the States. It should be due. I think I've shared a clip. So when that comes out, I will share that with you. So take care for now, and see you on the next video. Bye.